Hey guys, Aziel here, and I'm back with a rather quick devlog. And today I'm going to be going over the main equipment system of the game. The main way you power up Zolo, like increase your stats, equip abilities, and whatnot. And it is the Essence Modifier. This is basically this game's version of the Navi customizer from the Mega Man Battle Network series. And what we have here are slots that we can equip Zola with that give her various attributes and bonuses and modifier stats. But first and foremost, let's go over the some of the basics. We have her capacity as far as how much something costs to equip. So let me scroll down here. Let's say right here we have Vigor, which is HP, so HP plus 1000. So when we equip this, she has 2000 HP instead of 1000. And so when we go back, and here you can see that it costs 20 capacity, and her capacity limit is actually her level times 10. So right now she's level 11, and in the end game there's the end game is level 200. That's the max level. And so yeah, we have ways to equip stats, like mana is her shields, might is her attack, fortitude, defense, brilliance, magic attack, resistance, magic defense, agility. This affects the speed at which the cards scroll in battle. And dexterity is a stat that a lot of cards are affected by as far as dealing extra damage. So if you're going for a particular build, like let's say you want a card that boosts, you want to deal a lot of spell damage, so you're going to want to equip this brilliance because it's basically magic attack. So when we go here, and as you can see, brilliance times 1000. So the power of this card right here, of all this fire spell, is affected by the brilliance stat. And so if you want to go for a specific build with your deck, like let's say you want to equip extra spells, well, you want to equip more brilliance. And I have this list here. I have pretty much everything unlocked because I'm testing. But when you first start the game, when you first get this system, you're barely gonna have anything. Maybe like 3, like maybe just a HP, might, and then agility or something like that, or fortitude. When you first start off in, you basically acquire these equipment pretty much how you would like a standard RPG, where you find them or you buy it from shops. Very similar to the Battle Network series. But they're not really easy to farm. You kind of just have to find each one in the game. And so we have all the stats here. And then we have combinations of stats, where this one, the power pack, it boosts both. Actually, it boosts Vigor, Might, and Fortitude by 300, which is a lot. And we have the second version of it, which is 7,000 Vigor and 700 stats to Might and Fortitude. So we have a lot of variation here with the stats, but as you can probably see, it costs a lot of capacity. And notice when the capacity is over her limit, it turns red. Well, let's see, let's equip it, and well, look at that. Everything is kind of red now, like a reddish purplish color. And you can actually go over her capacity limit, but there are repercussions. And the repercussions for going over 50%, 25% of her capacity limit is let me equip something see how it's purple now. If you go within 25 to 50% above the capacity limit, you're going to be at it's kind of a weird state where Actually, it's not really weird. It's actually something I think is pretty unique in that you deal 25% more damage, but you take 25% more damage. So you're basically going the glass cannon route with her. And you want to be cautious if you go over your capacity limit. So usually you want to keep your capacity in check. But if you go over 50 to double your capacity limit, then you'll do 50% more damage and take 50% more damage, and you can see it changes color to red. Now there's actually something special here where if you go exactly double, let me see if I can get it. If you go exactly double, shucks. Let me see if I can find the correct. Yeah, see, you see how it's gold here? So if you go exactly double her capacity, Zola deals ×2 damage at no penalty. So if you're smart and if you're really good with the builds, you can actually get a lot of mileage out of this system. And now there's also another aspect to the system is when you go over time, double your capacity. So let's equip this. You see how everything is gray? Now you never want this because when it's grayed out like this, she deals no damage. Her damage output is 0. So essentially you can't progress the game. So you want to avoid this at all costs. So let's go ahead and equip something that does the opposite of making her capacity go up. Let's make her capacity go down by equipping a stabilizer. Now, when we equip a stabilizer, her capacity is actually -100, and everything is green now. So what these stabilizers do, they're kind of rare in the game, but when you find them, they can be really useful because they allow you to equip higher level capacity items to let you get ahead a little bit. And this right here, everything green, this effect here, it actually boosts her defensive stats. It basically reduces the damage she takes by 50%. So if you want to go for a more tanky build, you find a way to lower her capacity below 0. So there's some variation here. There's a lot of ways you can go for, like different unique builds. If you want to go for something super tanky, you have this, or if you want to play a class that's kind of fragile, but you want to still go like the glass cannon, or you want to equip as much power to it as possible, you would equip stabilizers. So these are stat modules, which you see here, the equipment that actually affects her stats. So there's basically 3 different types of modules, and these are the stat ones. This is essentially just a stabilizer. This is kind of its own thing. But let's cover the other type of module, which is the class module. So see here, these items here have cost 0 capacity. These modules are related to the classes in the game. There's 12 classes in the game, and Zola's default class, or what she starts with, is just the mod battler, which is it's basically like normal style in Mega Man Battle Network. And she has like a Mega Buster type weapon, like the Spirit Buster, as you can see here, where she charges up and fires. Super basic, just like Mega Man essentially. And kind of like the Mega Man X games, we find these parts from throughout the world in the game when we're as a specific class in the game. And so like the cyber module, this is a specific class, a cybercaster, and this class has specific attributes to it that are native to it that Zola can equip when she's not as that class. And not all of these, well, all of these apply to the normal mod battler class, but they may not apply they may not take effect when you're playing as another class, but all of these affect the normal regular mod battle class. So if you want to just stick to, out of the 12 classes, you want to just stick to the class you start with, the regular mod battle, and just power that up. These are what these class modules are for. So something I can go over like quick charge. This halves the Spirit Buster's charge time. So basically, it doubles the speed of your Mega Buster shot, essentially. Times 2 charge shot. You fire when you fire 2 charge shots at once. So triple shot, your regular like pew pew attack, your regular attack, you fire an extra shot. So these power up the regular class. So if you want to just stick to the regular class, the default class you start with, if you really like that gameplay, you're going to want to equip these class modules. So here's another one, like the Crazy module. This class here is like really tanky, and it has things like Safety Suit, where this is basically undershot. And once you unlock this, you basically have undershot. Now this, like the times 2 charge shot, that only applies to the regular mod battler class, but Safety Suit, this always applies to any class you're playing as. Same with Super Armor, where you receive no combo or score penalty when you take damage. Charge Recovery, whenever you charge up your Spirit Buster, it restores 20% health, 20% mana. It's really good for staying alive. Mana Shields, most of these power up the basic class you start off with, and they sort of add some abilities as well, and they're all tied to the 12 classes of the game. And actually have a little special here where you see that crazy high cost. This is basically hub batch from the Mega Man Battle Network games. This is like a teaser, but you won't find this until like way deep into like the post game areas after you go through a gauntlet. But this grants all the upgrades you see up here into one. So and if we equip it, not gonna be at capacity. The only way to really be able to use this program without being great, you have to be pretty much max level 200, and you have to have the Super Stabilizer equipped. So if I was at level 200, my capacity would be at 2000, and if I have the Super Stabilizer equipped, it will put me at exactly double my capacity. So I would actually be everything would be gold, and I'll have the double damage output. But even though it's grayed out, I can't really make use of it. But when I do equip this, Zola here, ignore this face here, but Zola here, her sprite changes, and so to show that she has that special program equipped. So yeah, so now that we have the class modules explained, let's go over some miscellaneous modules here, which are these are related to classes. In the game, you'll see a number like on the bottom right corner of the screen when I'm playing as a class, and those are class action points. They go up to 9, and this essentially lets us start the battle with however many this boosted by. So you can start with max, or +4, +2, or whatever. This program here, this is basically collect from the Mega Man Battle Network series. When you have this equipped, all battles, they give you cards. Like if there's a card to be obtained in the battle, it's guaranteed with this module equipped. And even from like Astro Data, which is basically like green mystery data, you always get a card. Shekels are the currency, like money, like Zenny. Same thing, you always get shekels. These are basically bug frags. So yeah, these make it so if you're trying to farm the best shards or money, or you're trying to complete the standard library in the game, these are all really good. And now let's go over the more complicated and unique aspect of the essence modifier, which are relics. Relics are rare and extremely powerful modules that you can equip. And what these do is they grant a very specific, unique effect that where you'll be spending the majority of your time building your builds around. So, for instance, right here, the Krajic boots. What they do, white cards apply a weapon booster. So, if you've seen my previous devlog on the card system, white cards, you can, they're basically like non-attacks, where you can easily use them in battle quickly when they scroll in on the side. And weapon booster is actually one of the white cards that you have. And what this does is that it triggers your weapon attack for free. And when you have the Krajic boots equipped, any white card that you use is essentially adds the weapon booster effect. So let's say if you have a barrier, or actually I'll just go to it. Like here, this is a white card, and this is a white card. See, triggers weapon attack at 150% power. These are all white cards here. You can tell because this black dot here. And whenever you use any one of these in battle, it triggers weapon booster. So essentially, when you have the Krajic boots equipped, you don't have to have this card in your deck, because every other white card is essentially a weapon booster. And there's certain classes, like this class, the Krajic warrior, where it loves, you get its regular weapon attack does a lot of damage, and so you really want to capitalize on it, put a lot of weapon boosters in your deck. But if you have the Krajic boots equipped, everything is essentially a weapon booster. So this is what I'm talking about. This completely changes how you would even go about building your deck with just this simple relic here. And this isn't even an expensive crazy relic. This is one you get fairly early on in the game. Now, not every class would benefit from this, because some classes you don't always want to use their weapon attack. But for classes that do, this is awesome. And we have here the Krajic armor, which is consumes an action trigger point instead of receiving damage while at one barrier. This is something that's really specific that actually helps the Krajic warrior, because this class loves to hover at 1 HP, just how its class mechanics work. And instead of getting just nicked off easily, you can consume an action trigger point to save you. It's almost like an extra undershot when you have this equipped. And like I said, a lot of these are very, very unique effects. Meteor bracelet. I have meteor type cards in the game, and this allows you to use extra 5 meteors when you have this equipped. And some cards you summon like 5, 10, 15 meteors, so it seems pretty decent. But there's one particular card in the game that summons a huge, gigantic meteor, just one. But when you have this equipped, it's all of a sudden 6 meteors, which is huge damage. Do I have it? I don't have it installed, but yeah, just things like that. Let's see, I have a learning tome, which it doubles the EXP you earn from battles. If you're really trying to level up fast, you want to equip this. Time tome quadruples the duration of all time related buffs. So if you have this equipped, like things like certain cards, like let's see, like Ghost Shroud. This is essentially invis from the Battle Network. Avoids most attacks for 8 seconds, lasts for 8 seconds. Well, if you have a time tune equipped, this is 32 seconds, I believe. So yeah, this is this relic here is really, really good for that. And this affects everything. Every single buff that's stuck to a timer, it's affected by. So really, really good stuff. Let's see here. Prism specs, light card. All light cards add the prism state, and when someone's prismed, they can't move, and they take triple damage from light attacks, magical light attacks. So boost physical weapon arts by 50%. The soldier sword. So this, you would want to pair this with the crazy boost to get even more damage out. Great axe. This great axe card deals 100% damage and doesn't trigger counter. So this essentially turns the regular great axe card into like a mega card. Really good stuff. So these are all a lot of really unique effects that help you, like with building process. And a lot of these cards that have like that boost damage, they all stack. So you can go for a crazy, super powerful build that just does insane damage if you have the capacity and all that stuff. And don't forget, when you have damage boosters like this, like plus 50% here and all that, the whole essence effect where it changes colors, like either gold or purple or red, that all stacks as well. So early on, you probably want to go for something defensive to raise your defensive stats to learn, the fights and stuff like that and to survive. But when you're really trying to go for a high score and take on the harder super bosses at the end of the game, you're gonna want to really utilize this system and really take advantage of that. So like right here, the freeze ice gauntlets, cards that apply freeze don't, but instead deal plus 100% damage. So doubles the power of all cards that freeze, but they don't freeze. So like I said, this all stacks. So with other effects as well. So here, doubles nature cards combo gain. So all nature element cards, they double the amount of combo they generate per hit. So if one card in particular does 5 hits total, it now does, if it's a nature card, it now does 10. And as you can see here, it actually lowers the capacity. So not every relic costs capacity. Some relics lower the capacity. So there's a lot of room here to to really make your own build. Like here, the Purging Staff boosts light card damage by plus 20% whenever you heal in battle. So any heal you trigger in battle, when you have this equipped, it boosts the damage of all light cards that you use by plus 20%, and it's all additive. So, like I said, if you're going for like a light card deck, you want this equipped. You might want to pair like this with the Purging Staff with like the Sunburn Gloves, where light cards deal plus 100% damage to ignited enemies. So if you have a deck that has a lot of fire in it, that adds the ignited state to enemies where they're on fire, and then you have light cards to really do extra damage to that, you can go for something like this. And then you have the Invic Shield, where restores 20% vigor when blocking with a shield card. So this right here will trigger the Purging Staff because you're healing from this shield. So there's already synergy here. And there's the Intimate Cloak, where recovers 20% vigor when a non-white card is used. So whenever you use a card that's not a white card, you restore vigor, and it triggers the bonuses from Purging Staff, and it's all healing. So classes that like the Paladin class, where if you use a perfect guard on time, you heal, that triggers this as well. So there's a lot of stuff here that you can take advantage of. Zeta Slash, the Zeta card, the Zeta Slash card has a 20% chance to appear in the artillery menu. So this is basically Life Sword. So when you have this equipped, Life Sword essentially has a 20% chance of appearing in your artillery menu, because this hits all enemies. So really, really interesting stuff. And then I have some, and then here, these are normal relics. The the green border, and now I have legendary relics, where these are mostly post game or like end game. They're very, very difficult to acquire, but they're extremely powerful. Like right here, the Lithium, Circuit Laws of the Ancient Chthonians. Basically triples EXP and reduces the capacity by 100. So these are extremely powerful effects. Like right here in Shelters, increases all stats by 50%. This boosts Vigor, Might, and Fortitude by plus 100%. And white cards apply greater aura, which is aura. Actually, this is somewhat like Life Aura, and sort of. It's kind of like Life Aura in the Mega Man Battle games, or at least it's inspired by that, where instead of you have to deal a specific amount of damage to remove the aura, this just it basically just reduces all damage you take by a specific amount. I forgot the exact amount, but it also nullifies status elements. So if you were to get hit by an attack, that would apply a status element. If you have this Oramos equip, it doesn't apply the state. But any white card applies this barrier essentially. So really good stuff. Now, here, Phoenix Feather revives the user one time in battle. So if you were to die in battle, it revives you. Another crazy thing, Death Armor reduces all damage you take by 90% if the user has died during battle. So you want to pair this with Phoenix Feather. Now there's actually a companion in the game that'll revive you, but it's on a long timer, and so you don't have to have Phoenix Feather equipped. But if you have her in the party with you, but yeah, like there's synergy between Death Armor and Phoenix Feather. Death Blade, damage plus 20% for each enemy defeated in battle. In this game, there's a long battle gauntlets called Synquet stages, where you go through hordes and hordes of enemies and at the very end you fight a boss. This is really good for those stages because all those enemies you defeat, there could be like 30 to 40 enemies. This is boosting your damage each time you defeat an enemy. So it's just really good for sequence stages. Arctic Blade, this is a very specific build where it reduces all magical damage output by 80%, but it boosts all elemental damage by 100%. So essentially, if you do physical elemental damage, like you're going for that type of build, this is really powerful. Monkey Pull just doubles all combo gains. So your combos double, super strong, super powerful. And yeah, so these are pretty much the legendary relics. Now, there's one final thing I want to go over with this system, and it's probably going to really add some depth to it, and it is the relic module. You see how, let me go here. You see if I normally equip this at this level, it's too much, right? So when you find the relic module in the game, which is kind of like mod tools from Mega Man Battle Network 3, if you hover over, once you have this item, when you hover over the arm, whatever you want to equip and have it not cost any capacity, you just hover over it and you press, well, I'm using the Xbox controller, so if you hold the Xbox, the X button, boom, relic module. As you can see in this bottom left corner, this is actually equipped now. So I actually get the effects of the champion's armor, and it's not costing any capacity. And this only works for relics, no other equipment, so you can't use this for class modules or the stat modules. It's only for relics. And essentially, it allows you to equip a free relic for no cost. And it's any relic. Yeah, and if you want to unequip, you can just hold the Y button. So this is really good because, as you can see, there's 5 slots here, and there's ways to increase the amount of slots you have. It's kind of like you basically find them, and the maximum amount of slots you can have is 10 by the end of the game. And so if you want to get around that limit, you buy a relic module. It's kind of a secret thing. You kind of have to go out of your way. It's like a side quest to get it. There'd be a guy that gives it to you when you complete a quest for him. But when you get the relic module, that really opens up a lot of possibilities, because some of these, they may cost too much, or you really want a specific relic for your build, but like you're trying to get like the perfect capacity numbers so you can get that ×2 bonus. Well, I give the player a little bit of wiggle room by allowing them to equip it with the relic module. So yeah, so this is how like the main equipment system of the game works. So as you can see, it can get fairly deep with all these effects, and you couple that with the card system. Like, it can be a lot of players can have fun with this, with the builds. But when you first start, it's pretty simple. You know, it's just when you first start the game, and you first unlock this after the first dungeon of the game. So it's very simple, very straightforward when you first get it. It's nothing that's crazy about it. Like I said, when you first start the game, when you first get it, this is probably what it's going to look like when you first get it, like after the first dungeon. That's it, just these two. And then throughout the game, you'll find some relics. Most relics are in dungeons, where the bosses are kept. So, or in like really hard to find places. Relics won't be easy to get. They'll be relatively hard to find. You kind of have to go out of your way to find it, but they won't be like extremely rare. But it's just because all the big power is in the relic system of the game. You know, you're gonna have to really earn them, like either defeat like a specific boss, or go through a gauntlet, or some hidden pass, or something like that. But yeah, this is where the good stuff is. You know, this is what, you know, the probably like RPG players, their favorite part, where they get to near the end game and they start going for like all the broken, super powerful stuff. This is it. All right, so yeah, this is the Essence modifier for Zola's Nightmare, and yeah, guys. So hope that cleared some things up with like the main equipment system of the game, and yeah, thanks, guys. Peace out.